Both of those attacks causing panic on two beaches on Fire Island, off Long Island. A 12-year-old girl bitten in the leg while swimming at Sailor's Haven Beach.
And a tooth lodged in a young boy's leg when an apparent shark took a bite out of him on Atlantic Beach. Eyewitness News reporter Injay Burkett live outside Good Samaritan Hospital in West Islip with the breaking details. Injay?
Well, Sandra, Lola Polina just released from Good Samaritan Hospital here in West Islip, Long Island, putting on a pretty brave face after she was attacked in the surf off of Fire Island. Again, she and her family are convinced it was a shark. She was released from Good Samaritan within the hour, a smile on her face, but some pretty deep gashes in her leg. Lola says she was in waist-deep water when she felt scratches on her leg and realized she'd been bitten. She described what sounded like a shark, but she's not a marine biologist, so it's not confirmed. The bites are deep, no question about it, but she's in good spirits after a pretty frightening experience.
It was probably up to like my waist, the water. And so like my little brother and my mom were out like kind of standing there. And the water was cold, so I didn't really feel anything. And then I saw something like next to me and I kind of felt pain. And I looked and I saw like a fin kind of. I don't know how to describe it. And so I started like running out of the water because I felt it. And it started like swimming away, like kind of, it was like a whirlpool looking thing, like next to me. So I ran out to my mom and like my leg was all like bloody.
My daughter was not even 10 feet off the shore, up to her waist. All of a sudden I see her panicking and I see something, I couldn't tell what it was, but kind of flapping about.
Well, a second young person was also bitten a short distance away, a 13-year-old boy with similar wounds. Now, that happened within an hour of Lola's incident around 12 noon. And bathers would be called out of the water until lifeguards could be sure it was safe to venture back. Authorities recovered a small tooth from the boy's wound. Lifeguards say they're certain it was a shark, and town officials in the town of Islip later said that was confirmed. The boy was part of a town day camp program where campers were having a field trip to the beach, and it was a startling experience for them.
Our friend was by the boot. He was like out pretty far, and he was like, ah, something bit me. And then he screamed, and then he took a girl's boogie board and then swam to like shore. And then like he was all bleeding and he had like all like a big bite on him, and like they found a tooth in his leg.
We had him under our tent administering first aid right away. That's when we noticed the puncture wounds, and we figured it was a shark bite right away. We dressed the wounds appropriately. Like Ms. Carpenter said, the EMS came and they took our dressings off because they wanted to see the wounds, and that's when they confirmed also not only was it a shark bite, but they found one of the teeth still inside the boy.
Well, for about 2 hours today, people were called out of the water at Robert Moses State Park, which is on the western end of Fire Island, after a shark was sighted over there. Now, that shark was later identified as a sandbar shark. You know, seeing sharks along the Long Island coastline is not unusual, but shark attacks, extremely rare. Both kids are going to be just fine, but as Lola's dad put it, they've got scars, and they're going to have one heck of a story to tell.